Hello, YouTube. We are live in YouTube, and I am about to turn on Instagram. Happy Monday, and welcome to Manifest with Maria YouTube channel. Today, we are on Instagram as well, and also on the amazing YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that. It's under Maria, Manifest with Maria. Today, we're going to be talking about the 5 things that make business successful. So, I think a lot of us actually go into business with the concept in mind of what we are trying to create, but don't necessarily take a look at what is important in terms of what do I need to build, right, in the business. So, what are the things we need to build in business? So, we're going to dive into what those 5 things are. And if you guys don't know what those 5 things are, we're going to go into it. I did create a post around this last week, and so I'm going live and I'm going to speak more about what those 5 things are. So I think one of the biggest problems, you guys, with having a business is that we don't necessarily know what to focus on. There are a lot of things that we want to do, create, build, make happen, events we want to throw, and then next thing you know, the important things kind of fall to the wayside because we don't necessarily know what are the very most important things to focus on, right? So I am going to explain what those are right now. So the first thing, and this is the most important, this is like out of all of the 5, this is probably one of the most important things, is your ability to make sales. So how good at you and how effective are you at sales? And how you measure your ability to close in your business, close meaning convert prospects into clients, how you are effective is to see your close ratio. So every end of the year, you should be looking at how many of the people that came to you. So let's just say your process is they book appointments with you to see if they want to work with you, and then you enroll them into the coaching program. And then let's just say it's 100 people that you had appointments with to enroll into the program. And out of the 100, you were only able to close 20 clients last year. That means your conversion rate is about 20%, right? Which is really great. So if you think about it, every 100 every 100 prospects that comes to you, you'll be able to close if you just stay the same, don't learn anything new. You'll be able to close 20 of those out of the 100. So if you have 200 prospects that come to you, then you'll be able to close 40 of those. You see how that's how you would measure your ability to close in your business. Okay. Now, one of the things that I think for sales mastery is that you want to ensure that you want to close 100% of those 100 prospects that come to you. However, that is just not something that even the best salesperson can do. So don't be too hard on yourself if you don't close every single person that comes your way. That is just a part of it. You don't ever know their circumstances. You also don't know, you guys might not be a good fit. Not everyone is for you, and you are not for everyone. Okay, so number 1, you need to master sales. So if you are afraid of sales, if you are afraid of making offers, if you're afraid of talking about how much money it is or how much things cost to work with you, or collecting payments, or taking a credit card, or talking about any of those kind of things, if you're afraid of that, that is a huge problem in your business, and we need to close that gap. And how do you close that gap? Well, I would recommend to make offers to every single person you talk to, even if they are not a good fit, only because practice makes perfect. When there's really no perfect in mind, but really practice builds confidence. The more you say the thing, the more confident you are in making the offer, and how you convey yourself during the offer, during your pitch, really does affect their ability to say yes to you. Okay. So we need to master sales. That is number one. Okay. Number two is marketing. So I'm kind of going backwards in importance, but marketing is a really big thing here. The reason why it's a really huge aspect to your business is because this is how you draw people in, is through your marketing, right? I always say there's like different levels. There is a lead generating system, and then once you generate those leads, what are you telling them? And what are you telling them falls under marketing, right? So if you already have people in your audience that are looking at your stuff and they're like, well, what are you telling me? What am I learning from you? What thing do I get when I'm in your community, a part of your community? If you are in my timeline, what value do I get from having you in my timeline, right? And that goes into your marketing. So if you have mastered your marketing, that means you are consistent with posting. And then you have a content strategy that you follow that lands for your audience. So your audience already connects with what you say, they understand what you say, and they take action when you make an offer. Those are the three things that are important when it comes to knowing if your marketing is working. Now, if you don't get a lot of engagement on your marketing, that is okay, as long as when there's a call to action, people actually take action. You see? Because there's a lot of people that actually sit around in the bushes and just kind of wait and sit there and just watch you. However, if they don't comment, they don't like, they don't do like action things in the actual platform, that shouldn't deter you from thinking your marketing is failing. The only time you want to take a look at whether your marketing is working is if they actually take action. So if you say book a call and people actually book a call, if they say click the link, if you say click the link and they actually click the link and go through whatever the website is, that is still marketing that converts. Okay. Okay, so that is marketing. That's number two. Number three, you guys, is what I just mentioned, is lead generation. So lead generation is one of those things where you actually have to get really creative on being able to generate leads on your own. Either you pay for the leads, like advertising, or paid ads on Facebook or Instagram or Google, or even YouTube, TikTok. There's a ton of places you can actually buy ads, right? However, the problem with buying ads is that if you don't have your marketing language down, and if it's connected to your services and it really does articulate it well, then you're in the good, right? You're not going to be wasting money. Your lead per cost, or your cost per lead, is going to be high and it'll convert. But if your language is off, paid ads is not a good thing to go into yet, because you will be throwing away money like a river. Like it's just going to be, you're going to just suck money. Your money will be gone. Let's just say that. So paid ads, you always want to have your language down before you actually get into paid ads. I recommend to do organic lead generation. And I still do mine the old way, you guys. I have a podcasting for women and business group that generates me leads every day, every week. They get into my email software, and then I send them an email, and I constantly nurture them, educate them. I have them follow me on different platforms that I'm on, which is majority of the time Instagram, and then also YouTube and Facebook. So that is my little thing that I do to generate leads with little effort. I don't do anything in the group. It's just kind of growing on its own. And when you become a part of the group, I do ask you to send me or add your email list or email address. And then you're a part of my community, my email community, alongside with the Facebook group. That is one of the original ways that I think a lot of people actually do lead generation. There's other ways, like let's just say you have a members only thing where I don't know, a specific group of people only get this kind of high quality meditation or high quality, Loretta, if you're still on, it could be like high quality sound bowl healing, you know. So you got to get creative on what it is that you do. Like I have a client who's a spiritual coach and she does like moon readings. And I think moon readings happen every month. She is starting to do something like that where she can only offer her moon readings to people who are a part of this community that have given her the email address, you see? And that, you guys, is a really creative way to generate leads. So I want you guys to start thinking about what can I do to generate leads on a more consistent basis so that, you know, you have a pipeline of potential clients that you know and they know what you offer, and they'll pretty much be on the thought process of, do I want to work with her yet? Is the time now? Is the time in a month? Is the time 3 months from now? Summertime? Whatever, right? So once you get your lead gen system down, that will be a little easier for you to kind of breathe, because then all you got to worry about is, you guys, your marketing and your sales. You see? Okay, so that is number 3, lead gen. Number 4 is system. So what kind of systems do you currently have in your business? What things that you currently do to have your business kind of running on a systematic basis without you doing too much every single day? Now, the setup part is where you actually put majority of the work in, right? Because you actually have to set up these systems. And then from there, it just gets executed on a daily basis without you doing very much. So I'll give you some examples of how my business is set up. Like for an example is the lead gen system, where I, you know, have that Facebook community that allows for people to come in and they get to be a part of the group. They go into an email sequence, and from there they are marketed to work with me, you see. Now all of this I had to create from the start in order for me to have the system. So I created, what did I create? I created just a welcome email for that sequence. And I have this thing where I email my community at least once a week. Like for example, today's Monday. I'm actually going to send this live. As soon as I'm done with this live, I'm going to send it to my community on my email list. And I'm going to say, hey, I just went live. Here are the 5 rules to business success, right? And that's how I limit a lot of work, a lot of like, what do I email my community? This stuff I just said, you know what I mean? So it really does collapse the time from content creation to actually getting your word out to different platforms, and also through the different communities and groups that you have that you're responsible for. For example, the email list that I'm responsible for. Okay, so that is one. Another system is like my payment system. I actually used to have my payment system be all manual. I used to charge my clients on my own on the 15th of the month, and that was work for me because I had to develop the receipt. I had to actually charge the client, and then if like payments didn't go through, I would have to do the back and forth with the client to see what's going to happen with that payment. And then, you know, it kind of took away from that day for me. Like I knew once the 15th came, I had to do business, like money stuff, right? So that was a little over the course of my several years in business. I just didn't want to do that anymore. So at the top of the year, I changed it up this year. I had created this thing called subscriptions. It's a subscription option in PayPal where your client, if they stay with you for a certain amount of time, like usually my clients will stay with me for 6 months or 12 months, and then they now are a part of a payment subscription thing that actually just charges their account every 30 days like this. And I don't do shit. I don't even send receipts now because PayPal sends it for me. Unless my clients ask for specific personal type of receipt, I'll send that. However, everything is kind of done for me now with PayPal. and that has been such a dream. I am really, really happy about that. That's the type of system I have. Another system that I teach my clients is the client attraction blueprint, which is putting your Calendly link up, having an About Me page connected to that Calendly link. So when anyone makes an appointment, Loretta, if you're still on, you know about this. We did this for you. We put your Calendly link up. We had your About Me page connected to it, along with your client testimonials page. And then from there, anyone who books a call, they kind of already are familiar with you before they jump on the phone because of all of those documents, those bio, the client stuff that people have said about you. It really does warm your prospect up very well, very quickly over a short amount of time. So the chances of them saying yes to you when you make that offer is very high. So that's the idea of the client attraction blueprint. If you guys are interested in that, DM me CAB, client attraction blueprint. DM me CAB. Okay, so that is my 3 systems that I'll share. If you guys have any questions about that, again, you are welcome to jump on and just DM me, and I'll help you with that. Number 5, you guys, is spirituality. One of the things that I love about my business is that I do a lot of spiritual work. I'd recently posted a reel about how I hadn't been journaling in weeks, only because I just felt really not called to journal. Isn't that weird? Do you guys feel that way sometimes, or you just don't feel called to journal? And I haven't. I usually journal pretty much every day, but I have not journaled in weeks. And then when I filmed that little reel, I just journaled in the reel because I hadn't, right? So those are one of the spiritual practices I have. And the reason spirituality is so important in business is because there's a lot of blocks that are going to come up. For example, I'm sure that all of the systems that I just shared with you guys in number 4, the SMART system, there's probably some blocks around like, damn, that sounds like a lot of work, right? Like putting up systems sounds like a lot of work. And that's a block that you need to clear up, clear out, and actually get to work. Because if you think that creating systems is a lot of work, then it's going to be a lot of work and you're probably never going to do it. You see how that's in the way of actually creating the thing you want. You know, the systems are made to actually have your business flowing like clockwork without a lot of effort in. But in the beginning, you actually have to have some effort in the beginning, okay? All right, so that is spirituality. I do some meditation as well. I actually have a client library of meditations that I just transferred over to YouTube. If you guys are interested in that, DM me as well. But spirituality, if you guys don't have any practices, I encourage you guys to maybe start journaling. I definitely felt that way when I started, and you really helped. Oh, thank you to, I was going to call you Davina. Thank you, Loretta. But yes, absolutely. You know, I think a lot of things that get in the way of business is that we kind of overthink the process. Systems are irritating, but so needed. Yeah. We kind of overthink the process. We kind of overwhelm ourselves. And the next thing you know, it's a full stop and it never gets put together, you see. But the thing about it also is that once you do it step by step, it's almost like putting a table together or like a piece of furniture. If you do it step by step, it really does make it easier, right? Like even making like your special dish, like you know whatever your amazing dishes. Like for the holidays, I like to make sweet potato pie. And in the beginning, I didn't really know how to make it. And so I was like, okay, I got to start with the eggs or something. I don't even know. Like, all I know is that I put all of it in one bowl and I mix it. I don't do like the dry thing and then the wet thing. You know how they do that? Like the dry ingredients and then the wet ingredients. And then you got to, like, no, put it all in the bowl, mix it, you know. Anyway, back to business. Spirituality, really big deal, guys. If you guys don't have any practices like this, the easiest kind of spiritual practice I think that anyone can do without it being like weird and woo woo and like magical feeling is journaling. I think journaling has been tremendous for me in my life. And journaling, all you got to do, guys, is just write down what it is that you are feeling in that moment. There's different methods of journaling, like gratitude journaling. Like, for example, let's say you have a goal of being like 100 millionaire real estate owner. Let's just say, okay, and you're not there yet. It's not a bad thing to actually journal and say thank you for that 100 million real estate development that I have. And that is what is an example of gratitude journaling. And the idea of that is that you, as you write, you actually tell your mind that there's a goal that we have, right, as you write it. And then your mind will start looking for evidence to make that goal happen. And you do that long enough, you do that consistently enough, there's going to be moments available to you that are opportunities for you to meet that goal. Do you see? So let's just say let's just say it is that real estate thing. That means you need to have some equity, you need to have money, you need to have good credit, right? You need to have cash flow. So there you go, predictive programming. What is that? Explain. But the idea here is if you do that, that will really help you, get yourself moving forward in the right direction. Okay. So spirituality is number 5. And then last one, you guys, is support. And what support is, it's just mentoring reinforcement. That's what I call it, mentoring reinforcement. And why do we need that? Well, we get stuck in our own ways a lot of the times when we feel heavy or, in the thick of it. Who's going to be there in your corner to kind of shine some light? I think there's a lot of ways that we can kind of get lost in our bullshit, right? We can get lost in it and we can kind of get stuck in it and we can kind of feel shitty in it. And if you don't have someone to help you through that, that will be really hard. What does Loretta say? Journaling about what you want, you're programming yourself to work toward it or bring it. Exactly. There you go, Loretta. Yeah. So it's kind of almost like self-hypnosis, right? Journaling is. Yeah, I agree. So, with support, one of the biggest amazing things that outside support can do for anybody is that it can actually like give you perspective on what's really happening in the current circumstances. There's a lot of things that happen, for example, that like we will get so emotionally riled up over, and then next thing you know, we make decisions based on our riled up emotions, right? Like, let's just say you decide to just quit your business one day, and you like, you make the I don't know, let's say you dissolve the LLC, you turn off your Instagram, you do all these like impulsive things. But what happens with that is that your emotions are fleeting, they're flighty. So the next day, let's say you wake up and you're like, man, the sun is shining, the birds are singing, I feel good, I want my business back. But then you did all these things the day before because you were so impulsively in your emotions. If you have a business coach or anybody, health coach, spiritual coach, relationship coach, whatever kind of coach, they can actually be in your corner to guide you through these downs. And then also, kind of help you with your ups. Because the things about celebrating your wins is that if you celebrate them too hard, you might forget that you still are in that journey, you see. So it's finding that even keel in the journey, not riding it too high, not riding it too low, where you're kind of like, because I think both kind of stop the momentum. If you look at like, like a roller coaster, right? Going up always takes time. Going down goes really fast, but you're going to have to go up and one of these like moments, and then that also takes time too. So it's always better to kind of have an even keel journey and figuring out how to have that balance between wins and losses so that if you do experience failures, how quickly can you get back up? That's the biggest thing is that, like, if you are experiencing failures in your business, let's just say you have like a launch, or let's say you did I don't know, a mini course that didn't sell, or nobody was interested in whatever it is that you're doing, how quickly can you let it go and get back to that a new offer? How quickly can you get back on the horse? How quickly can you get back up after you've made an offer that didn't go anywhere? How quickly, right? And one of the things about, I think, having a coach is that they can kind of get you back up real quick, because they know that failure is a part of the journey. Failing is actually closer to a win, right? Even like if you make an offer and someone says no, I like to say you're closer to a yes now. Every no gets you closer to a yes. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so that is the six. I thought it was five, but I guess it's six things, guys. So pardon me. So it's six things to make your business successful. If you guys have questions at all about these, DM me. We are going into a new month, okay, not a new year, a new month. And I want to know, what are your offers in March? Do you have a new offer? Are you creating a new one? Are you selling the same offer? If it's not selling, do we want to recreate it? Do we want to rename it to make it even more juicy? Is there something in your marketing that's preventing from people to actually take action if your offers are not selling yet? Those are the things that you want to think about when we go into a new month with your offer. Okay, think about, well, if nothing sold last month, what do I need to change this month to make sure that it does sell? Okay, start thinking that way. That will really help you understand sales, number one, really effective marketing, and then also just knowing your community. Okay, guys. All right, thank you so much for watching, Loretta. Have an amazing day, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Thank you. All right. You too. Have a great day. Thank you for being here. Oh, end stream. Ha 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 ha. Bye, guys.